Hi everyone, happy Monday. Okay, so I had a couple chores and they took me a couple minutes longer than I thought. So here I am. Okay, so what hour was okay for Monday? It was Monday. Okay, I'm gonna do what I usually do, which is dissect the storylines, and I'm gonna tell you my favorite and probably least favorite, and that'll be the last one I talk about, as I usually do. Okay, so because it's Monday, you don't really know how they're going to go. You don't know if they're going to be fast, slow, in the middle. You got no idea. And you don't know what they're going to cover either because, yes, I saw the spoilers, but as I said before, you don't know exactly what day, what spoiler is going to happen. So it's kind of a toss up. But I was kind of hoping, and I was thinking about this over the weekend. I was kind of hoping they were going to deal with the Holden and Claire situation, and I didn't know what else they were going to handle, but I was hoping they touch on that one at least, because yeah, it was kind of in a holding pattern. So I want to know the kind of. It feels like final to me because okay, let's go through the particulars now. Okay. So, Claire and Kyle used to date, but they broke up. So what Holden was thinking about was, is she gonna go back with Kyle or does he have a chance or that kind of thing, right? So she says, no, I'm not gonna get back together with Kyle, which is kind of sad, but it kind of makes me happy too because I didn't want her to go right back to the same guy right away, because if you're going to learn about yourself, that takes some time and it's not going to be cured in a week over vacation or whatever. So that's what I was thinking. Um, okay. So then we move on to Kane. Um, Kane. Well, Kane and Lily about had it out last week because, and I've noticed this thing about Lily's character for a while now. Every time she's in a relationship with somebody, she wants them to act a certain way, and when they don't, she doesn't know what to do with that, and so it feels like I don't know. The best way I can describe it for me is it feels like she internalizes it a little bit, and then turns them away because they didn't act the way she wanted them to act. But then also with a couple of the relationships she had, um, they didn't really give it a go. So you can't really judge it by that. Like the relationship with Damien never really started. So I'm not including that in my judgment here, but I'm just making an overall observation. Um, okay. So then for some reason, she's talking to Chelsea and Adam. And I say for some reason because I don't really think they're friends. So I don't really think they would communicate just because. So I'm like, okay. But then they noticed that she was very against or very for Kane. And she's always been against him, like a lot. So they wondered what's the shift about. Okay, so remember that because I'm going to get to the good part. Now I'm going to get to the good part. Okay, now there was a little bit of piece I forgot or missed on Friday because I kind of got bored with. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's because I'm figuring out how to do relationships for myself. So I say to myself, I would never act like that. And what I'm talking about is when Phyllis practically threw herself at him. I said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Do people do that?" I mean, I'm sure there are some people who do, but I just the majority is like do they do that? So it kind of turned me off. So then I didn't really watch. Well, the thing I missed was that she kissed him a little bit on the mouth. Like they were sitting there. And she just reaches across and kisses him. Very lightly, not forceful, whatever. And then after that is when he gets rejected by Lily for the last time. And then goes back to Phyllis to say, "What are you doing later?" Whatever. Okay, so pick up from there. Phyllis and Kane. Whew, they finally did it. Okay, now I don't mean like that, but it's getting hot and heavy, and you know where it's gonna go. Okay, here's the weird part, or here's the ironic part. At the moment where they're doing that, Lily is leaving Kane a message on the phone about whatever. I'm like, whoa, finally. So like two pieces of me were really happy at that point. He finally got past the rejection and moved on to somebody else. And he's not waiting but by like the phone, waiting for the call to get acceptance or approval or whatever by Lily. So I'm like, yay, woohoo! I was so happy. It was like I was moving on in a relationship myself or something. Like, yay, finally. Okay, so that was the best part. Okay, now about Holden and Claire. I don't know if I mentioned this part of it. Okay, so she says, um, I'm not going to go back to Kyle, but I'm not ready for a major relationship either. And I also don't know if what happened on Halloween night is going to happen again. And I'm like, yeah, there it is. It's not going to happen again. Because, okay, the reason I say this is twofold. Now, this I know from experience. When somebody wants to do something, they're going to do it. No matter what it is, no matter what somebody else tells them, no matter how much somebody warns them, all that stuff, they're going to do it. Okay? Number two, for some reason, although I don't know why, for the most part, YNR is against interracial relationships. I know I have covered this probably ad nauseum, but it is true. Look at the history books. Every interracial couple broke up, and then some got back together, or some just broke up. They just they don't champion that. I don't know why. I mean, it is 2025, people. You could wake up, you know. But they just don't. So I'd say it's a no go for Holden and Claire, uh, which is sad because I really do think they make a good couple. But now, now, as I said before, I look at this as like pieces of a puzzle. Okay, the piece of the puzzle is that Holden and Claire are not going to get together again, right? Okay, put that down. The other part might be because Holden is like too bad for her, but I don't know what that means yet. Because remember, now we have to go back in our brains and remember that Claire did ask a lot of questions about what is your past with Audra, what happened, just tell me. And he wouldn't tell her until he told her a story that we later found out was made up so that she wouldn't freak out. Now, that made me have questions, and I think I talked about them on the day. I said, what is so bad that he can't tell the truth of what happened between him and Audra? Like, what happened? I want to know now. but I don't know. We're going to get the answer because, like I always say, the truth comes out, but it's a matter of when and how long is it going to take for that to come out. I don't know the answers to the questions, but I have the questions in my head. I just don't know the answer to the question of when and how long. I don't know. But yeah, it kind of makes me think of fishy, suspicious, the whole thing, you know. But anyway, all right. Bye, guys.